Day, it's Carl from Studio Incar. What can I say that introduces this car more than it kind of introduces itself? Yeah, for those of you that may not know, this is a BMW E46 M3 CSL. When I walk in this building, it feels like this is in charge. Yeah, it's not. It doesn't. You know, I don't often think too much about what I have to say when I start these videos, but introducing a car like this is a little bit. It's a little bit intimidating. You know, there's a lot of purist fans out there. There's a lot of people who know what they are. I mean, it's very rare you're sort of in the presence of a car that's just held in the regards as one of the best cars that's ever been made, one of the greatest cars in the world, which it truly has that about it, as a strange aura about it, and it's just amazing. Everyone that sort of comes through, us, people that work here, myself, it kind of stops you in your tracks. You kind of I don't know, you respect it in a weird car guy way. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, anyway, I kind of promised myself that I wouldn't go on too much about the CSL. At the end of the day, this is a business. This is what we've done. You know, James, the owner of this car, has asked us to do certain things to this car, and we've done them and we've nailed it. We've kept it as classy as it can be. It's what the car deserves, but they are still a 20-odd-year-old car. Okay, so if you're taking it across Europe, or I don't know, if you're going to the ring, whatever you want to do, there's no connectivity with modern tech. There's obviously sound. You know, we all know what it sounds like from an induction perspective, and if you don't, you should. From a radio perspective, it's just rubbish. It's not that type of car. It was never designed for that. So it has the real stripped down basic business CD system in this. There's of course no Harman Kardon or anything like that. You just get your simple 4 speakers. What we've done, what was requested of us, was a wireless system. He wanted a system to play from his phone. So I would assume at some point there's going to be a suction cup or a clip-on mount or something to mount a phone, and we have made just that. So in this car we haven't connected the factory radio to the system at all. The factory radio just sits there and does its thing. We have connected an Audison Bcon unit directly to a DSP amplifier, which is under the floor, and then out to Morel Virtus Nano coaxes on the back and components in the front on all of our mounts. There's a lot of work gone into the mounts in this car because they had to replace direct factory fitment stuff, and there's a slew of things available for E46s online. I'm sure you can find them all, but I wanted them to be an exact fitment. You know, I wanted them to just be able to be removed. No one could ever tell they were there. So yeah, the rear speakers specifically were probably the trickiest part of this. And you forget this era of BMW, sort of early 2000s. Say late 90s to sort of early 2000s, where they were still sort of early mass manufacture, I suppose, for BMW. So there are multiple different screws, multiple different panels overlapping other panels. You forget how tricky they are to work on sometimes. I've had a number of M3s myself, and I've had a number of systems within those M3s, and yeah, I slightly underestimated it because I haven't worked on one for a while. Plus then you get the prestige of it being a CSL. Everything has to be white gloved, which is fine, standard stuff, but it just takes a little bit longer to do. And I had a particular plan and wanted it to do it in a particular way, so to not spoil anything, you know, we didn't want to see anything. Those things that we do have to see had to kind of fit. All right. I'm going to walk you around this. If you've not seen the interior of a CSL, I put it on our Instagram feed actually, on our stories, just to say, you know, today's office, you know, guess what car it is. And it maxed out our inbox. They're crazy popular and very distinctive thing if you know. You know, if you're watching this and you don't know what the CSL is, then you've done well to avoid it. But yeah, what a thing, what a thing. Let's have a little look around it. Look at this thing. Got a tip-top condition. It's absolutely tip-top condition. A lot of M3s now are not in the best of nick. They got down to a particular price, and yeah, a lot of them didn't get looked after, but not these. It's the CSL and its legendary interior, carbon door card centers. These are super light as well. When you're used to picking up sort of standard E46 door cards, they weigh nothing in comparison. I must admit, I thought that the seats had a lot more to do with the Recaro pole position than they actually do. There's an awful lot more of, say, OEM functionality, like this bar, the movement, the adjustment of the rails and things. They're very well thought out, based on the pole position, I imagine, but they've been taken, and BMW have done their tricks. Rear bench and the center console, all in carbon fiber. Now those rear seats, you could be tricked into thinking that that's a leather outer, and it's not. It's like a GRP or carbon panel. The whole thing is a panel. It's just one solid panel with inserts. That the fabric centers are just cushioned inserts, and that surprised me. That extremely light. Obviously we've got no spec on the wheel. We don't need much in the way of steering wheel control going on here. And you can just see a little silver rim on the tweeter there from the Morel component set that's been fitted. I've got some B-roll of the back of these door cards so you can see the depth of speaker we fitted is tiny. It's below 15 mil, I think, overall. The radio, of course, now, like I say, it just sits there, doesn't do much. Put a controller in here on a printed mount, which the camera's actually making it look a lot brighter than it is. This is actually quite dark, which is how I designed it. I didn't really want to see it. That now will do master volume, and it will do sub bass control. So he can turn his subwoofer up and turn his master volume up and down, keeping him on the right side of the law. Be right back. There's no buttons on the CSL boot. Now that is a rear posted JL 8-inch W3. I've got a little bit of an issue at the moment with massive branding. People keep putting huge brands on their enclosures, on their amps, on all of their products. Just this massive branding. We're not billboards. We don't want to be driving around with this stuff, you know. These huge logos everywhere. It's not 1993. Do you know what I mean? You can have a bit of class. You don't need to put your name on everything. And it was bugging me that sat in there. It was black, and it had this huge JL logo on it. I'm a JL fan. I'm just not a fan of huge branding on everything that's in the boot of a car, you know. So I retrimmed it in the E46 trim. It's obviously still a sub box, but it's very much more played down now than it was. And then under the floor we have the Audison DSP amplifier. That is a 5-channel amplifier. You can see its loom runs up the side there. Tricky cars, BMWs, a lot of their trim panels fit completely flush with their chassis rails and stuff like that, so you can struggle with looms and things like that in these if you don't really know what you're doing. But as you can see, everything's in there, everything fits nice. It's all been entirely apart The rear speakers you can't see, but so much work has gone into that sort of rear deck. So that's what we've done to this one. This is what I would call a lay on top system. No fingerprints, not minimal fingerprints, none whatsoever. Residual values are still exactly the same. Every single part that has come out very well and will be returned to the client within the new boxes, and we can change that back at any time, or that can be handed over to the new purchaser if there ever is one, and they can kind of reap the benefits of what we've done in here. But this gives him a full streaming suite, you know, Spotify, Tidal, Qobuz, whatever it is you want to use for your music, or Apple Music, and then you can use your maps, you can do all these things that the CSL, you know, doesn't do. And yeah, not a lot of people want for it, but some do. Our guys do, you know, the people that are into what we do and are into using their car. I don't think I'll ever feel like I can do this car justice on a video. I even considered doing a dedicated sort of CSL only video, not talking about what we've done and not talking about what we do, just because it's just quite a special thing to be around, you know. But yeah, I've got to go, because I'm just going to end up carrying on looking at this, and then you're just looking at the back of my head, and then things just get a little bit strange. But if you're ever wondering why I'm slightly more odd today than what I usually am, just come and stand next to an E46 M3 CSL and see what you feel like. I'm Carl's, the Studio Incar. We all know what this is, don't we? See you later.